Hello lovelies, I'm Christina and today I'm going to tell you about 7 of my favorite audiobooks. So I use Audible for listening to audiobooks when I'm on the go, like traveling to work, or when I'm getting ready in the morning. It's just keeping me very effective when it comes to reading or finishing books. I don't know, listen to books, get reading done, whatever you want to call it. It's still literature, even though it's in audio form. Before I get into the audiobooks, I want to mention that if you want a free 30-day trial, there will be a link in the thingamajiggy down below, so you can go click that and get 2 free audiobooks as well. So if you haven't tried Audible yet, this is your chance to really give it a try, and it's free. So let's jump into the audiobooks. One of my absolute favorites from my Audible library is The Art of Asking by Amanda Palmer. Now, I had no idea who Amanda Palmer even was before her audiobook or her book was mentioned a lot around BookTube. It just sounded really interesting and I decided to give it a go. It's a non-fiction book. It really talks about the importance of communication with your eyes and your body language, and of course not being afraid to ask for help. And I think that's so important, especially for all of us who works creatively. There's so much to gain with not being afraid to ask people for help or for collaborations on creative projects. There's just so many positive things that comes out of asking other people, and I think I've always had a really irrational fear of asking people for help whenever I need it. So this was a really good listen for me, and Amanda Palmer just writes so amazingly and she narrates the book so well, and I really enjoyed her music as well. She had me interested in her music as well as the book she had, so I became a fan even there. So win-win. The next book that I really enjoyed on Audible was Nosferatu by Joe Hill. Now, I've talked about Joe Hill a couple of times and I really enjoy his old school kind of horror. It reminds me very much of Stephen King's earlier writing. I just think that he writes so just amazing complex books with really interesting characters, and even though they're really long, I think Nosferatu is more than 20 hours long. I really did enjoy it from beginning till end. I didn't think it was boring at any time. It is a story of a woman who has this certain ability to be wherever she needs to be to find things. She has this magic bike that she rides and she gets to travel to wherever she needs to go. One day she is looking for trouble and she finds a man called Charlie Manx. Charlie Manx kidnaps children and takes them to Christmas Land, and the main character, I don't remember her name, but the main Vic, I think it's Vic. She is the only kid who has ever escaped the hands of Charlie Manx. And then we jump into the future and Charlie Manx then goes out to kidnap Vic's kid. And it's just a really horrific, amazing, captivating story, and I highly recommend it. And I also want to mention that Nosferatu is narrated by Kate Mulgrew. And for any one of you who is a Trekkie, you know what I'm talking about. Another favorite of mine is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I don't remember who narrates this, but it is a true perspective story about twins set in 2 different timelines. One when they are 14, I think, and the other one they are 16 or 17. It's really an amazing story about family, about siblings, about love, about homosexuality and discovering yourself. I really enjoyed this story. It took me a little while to get invested in it and really feel connected to the characters, but after a little while I was really connected to the characters, and this book actually had me crying. Another one of my favorites is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, and also the second book in the series, which is The Mime Order. The Bone Season and The Mime Order are narrated by Alana Kerr Collins. She does an amazing job at having Paige's voice come to life. This is the story set in 2059 in Zion, London, and it is the story of Paige Mahoney, who is a part of a criminal underworld, and her job is to scout out information by going into people's minds. This is highly illegal, and she gets caught doing this and she has to go on the run. It's an amazing story, really high-paced, and you just fly through it. Really interested to see where this series goes. Another non-fiction book that I want to mention is Out of Your Mind by Alan Watts. Out of Your Mind is a collection of sessions from the Alan Watts audio archives. He's an amazing philosopher, or he was an amazing philosopher, and he talks a lot about life and the universe, nature, meditation, and just all of that interesting stuff. And if you're curious, like I said in my wrap-up, about seeing life in a different kind of way, and seeing the universe in a different kind of way, or just listening to someone else's view of it, I would highly recommend listening to some of Alan Watts's sessions. You could easily find them on YouTube. There are a whole lot, if not all of them, there. So if you want to just check him out before you download any of his audiobooks, you can go check him out here and just search up Alan Watts and you'll find tons and tons of material. But Out of Your Mind was a really good collection and one of my favorites of the ones that I've read so far. Another big favorite of mine is the Throne of Glass series, narrated by Elizabeth Evans. We all know the Throne of Glass series. Selena Sardothian, known assassin, all that fun stuff. I'm not even going into this one because it's going around booktube like fire in dry grass, and we all love it, or most of us love it. But I think the audiobooks are especially amazing, and I would highly recommend listening to them. I do want to read them as well, and I do want to own them, but I don't have them yet. But so far, listening to them on audiobooks has been a very pleasurable experience. And the last audiobook that I want to mention is one that I actually finished a couple of days ago, and that is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. This is another non-fiction book. It's about going after your dreams and how to really get them. This was a real kick in the butt audiobook for me. It gave me a lot of inspirational ideas as to how I want to visualize and get shit done. So highly recommend this if you're any kind of creative and you have big dreams and goals. This is an amazing way to just keep you motivated and working towards your goals. I really enjoyed it, and I thought that Jen Sincero was hilarious listening to, and she had some amazing advice that I really took to heart, and some that I'm making into a few of my own projects on how to keep me focused, and I'm gonna share them with you guys in another video actually. So keep your eyes open for that. So those were some of my favorite audiobooks. Do you have a favorite audiobook? Please leave them in the comments down below so I can add them to my to be listening to list. It's ever growing as my TBR is, but you know how that is. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video soon. Bye!